Hello and welcome back to another Marvel Snap video. My name is Michael, but you can call me MOLT. Today we're going to be going over some recent changes that just got announced in the OTA for this week. These are going to be incredible, and I think a lot of you guys are going to be happy about it. So obviously, the hype of High Evolutionary is taking over, which I think is going to make a lot of people forget about how strong Black Bolt and Stature have been over the last couple of weeks. And due to that strength, and due to the fact that that deck was winning an incredible amount, the team has decided to tick those just a little bit to decrease some of their power. Black Bolt is going to go from a 5-8 to a 5-7 that reads the exact same. On reveal, your opponent must discard the lowest cost card in their hand. The team says that this one wasn't on any of our bingo cards at the start of the year, but here we are. Black Bolt ascended to the top of our individual card leaderboards a couple weeks ago and has remained there unchallenged ever since, with a frankly shocking average number of cubes, 1 per game when drawn. However, his discard effect makes him the sort of card we don't want topping that list. Furthermore, the deck he was fueling has also been quietly outperforming the field by a margin as high as Shuri or Thanos in their prime. All of us remember Shuri and Thanos in their prime, so the fact that this deck was outperforming or performing around the same amount as those is pretty incredible, and I think that these changes are definitely necessary. They go on to say, while its game plan may feel more fair, it also has almost no bad matchups. Since the metagame hasn't shifted to effectively contest this deck, we've decided Black Bolt's day in the sun is over. I wouldn't even say that Black Bolt's day in the sun is over, because still as a 5-7 that can discard the lowest cost card in your opponent's hand, that's going to be pretty good. Next, we're going to move on to Stature. Stature was a 5-7 that read, on reveal, costs 1 if your opponent discarded a card from their hand this game, and they're going to be lowering that down to a 5-6. So both of these changes do not change the ability or the effect at all. It's simply just reducing 1 power. And if you think about it, a lot of times when these decks are played, they're not winning 1 location by 1 power for the most part. So these changes aren't that significant, even though they might feel like they are. The team went on to say that we have seen the numbers on the Black Bolt Stature deck soften a little bit since our wave change, which has been most impactful by turning a good matchup into a bad one. However, it's still clearly the best deck, and our playtesting for some future decks also indicated that this change would be merited down the line. So we're making it now in order to ensure that we see this deck fall from its lofty perch. The next one is interesting, and I definitely wasn't expecting it. They made a change to Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Negasonic was previously a 3-4 that read, after any card is played here, destroy this card and that card. Now, all that they're going to be doing is adding 1 power to the card. Again, that doesn't seem too significant, especially since most of the time Negasonic doesn't remain alive. Most people play Negasonic in a predictory way, where you play it down and you just try and predict that somebody's going to play something big with big power, and the whole goal of Negasonic is to get it destroyed as well as your opponent's card. And so I don't think that this is a big change by any means. It's really just adding 1 power in the case that Negasonic ends up staying alive. So we might see this in some Silver Surfer decks and stuff like that, but I don't think this is going to rise Negasonic to any sort of platform that may feel overpowered or anything. In fact, I don't even think we're going to see people play it too much. And lastly, we've got a change to Invisible Woman. Invisible Woman is a 2-2 that currently reads, ongoing cards you play here are not revealed until the game ends, and it is going to be changed to a 2-3 that reads the same, cards you play here are not revealed until the end of the game. The team said that the majority of Invisible Woman plays has been supporting the combo lines in Hela decks and acting as a pseudo-Cosmo to protect ongoing base buff decks from being single-handedly defeated by Enchantress. We believe that she has the potential to be an interesting occasional player in some other decks, and this stat buff may provide her with that opportunity. We did consider the potential impact to Cerebro 2 specifically, but we've given that deck a couple of recent buffs, and I expect that it may benefit from more down the line. Plus, there's always Cerebro 3. I've also really enjoyed the fact that they've been changing some of the locations and their frequency, because we all know that there are some locations like Subterranea and Triskelion and Weird World and things like that that are just absolutely annoying when you see them a lot. So I'm happy that they're doing this, and they're actually going to be doing it with a couple more locations this week. They said that after some internal discussion of our goals for the location pool, we've decided to continue adjusting some of our most restrictive locations. There are meaningful gameplay and deck building benefits to having these locations, but there are also diminishing diminishing returns to having many such locations that restrict play so harshly, and similarly, especially 2 or more appearing in the same game. So rather than further reducing the frequency with which these locations appear, we've decided to thin the ranks. As of today, we are temporarily removing the following 3 locations from the game: Plunder Castle, Milano, and Sandbar. That is incredible. I just read that live for the first time. I thought they were just going to decrease the frequency, but they are currently removing them from the game. Ladies and gentlemen, claps in the comment section. Leave a like on this video and freaking say finally. The team goes on to say that they're taking them back to design, where we'll be finding brand new effects to implement for each one. Once those are play tested and approved, we'll reintroduce them into the game. We're not 100% sure what that will look like yet, but you can expect to see them return in the next few months. I think that that is absolutely incredible, and if I'm honest, I think that that is a huge sign that the team is starting to listen to people's frustrations. Because if you guys know me, I talk about the RNG of locations so often, and these are definitely some of the ones that are pretty frustrating, especially Plunder Castle and Milano. I haven't seen Sandbar too much, but I'm really happy that they've been listening and changing these. Now, they've got a couple of things to say about the future of OTA changes as well. They say that this last month has been a lot of fun for the design team. The metagame has featured a diverse spread of interesting decks, even given the recent dominance of Black Bolt and Stature. We've appreciated the community's positive reaction to our OTA balance philosophy, as well as the changes themselves. With the conclusion of this May trial, we've decided to continue making regular OTA updates to the game at a slightly less frequent cadence. Rather than making balance changes on all 3 of the weeks between patches, we'll be taking the week in the middle off. There are 2 primary contributing factors to this decision. First of all, putting together these updates on tight deadlines was a bit more stressful than we'd like each week. And number 2, having 2 OTA weeks in a row always meant we got little to no insight from the first week when locking in changes for the second. I think that all of that is incredible, and I am so excited for the future of the game right now. It seems like they're listening, and guys, we can't forget that the game is, I think, a year old as of like today. In regards to beta and people being able to play it. So it is still a baby game in regards to how long it has been around and the time that they have been able to learn and grow. If you guys remember Brawl Stars, it was actually in beta for almost 2 years before it went global. And that was extremely frustrating for people, but now everybody can look back and be like, wow, that was definitely the right decision. So it's going to take them time to figure things out. It's going to take them time to add game modes and all that kind of stuff that we're all looking for. But I'm excited. I'm hopeful for the future, and I hope that you guys are as well. If you're still here, thank you so much for hanging out. Comment down below how y'all feel about the OTA changes, and I'll see you on the next one.